Free let review. Please subscribe and like. Don't forget to share. Professional education. Social dimension. 30 items. Let's begin. One, the Philippine elementary school curriculum gives greater emphasis on the development of basic skills like reading, writing, and arithmetic. What is the philosophical basis for this? A. Pragmatism. B. Perennialism. C. Essentialism. D. Existentialism. Answer. C. Essentialism. Essentialism is an educational theory rooted in classical realism and idealism which advocates curricular reform, stressing the essentials of the basics like the 3 R's. 2. Teacher H asks one of her students, "What do you want to become when you grow up?" This question is an indication of what kind of philosophy. A. Progressivism. B. Naturalism. C. Existentialism. D. Idealism. Answer. D. Idealism. Idealism is the answer because it stresses the existence of ideas independent from the material world. Ideas that which exist in the mind are the only reality. 3. Teacher X has not only explained the concept of philosophy of education but also imparted this to her students. This demonstrates what kind of philosophy. A. Naturalism. B. Idealism. C. Realism. D. Perennialism. Answer. C. Realism. Realism concerns with what is real, actual. For ideas to be realized, they must be transferred or demonstrated. 4. In his class, Teacher M always presents principles and values so as to encourage his students to examine them and decide for themselves whether to accept them or not. What kind of philosophy does he practice? A. Idealism. B. Essentialism. C. Humanism. D. Existentialism. Answer. D. Existentialism. Existentialism is a philosophy that emphasizes subjectivity, freedom and responsibility. 5. When a teacher emphasizes that man's sense should be trusted because they are the only way to acquire knowledge, the teacher can be regarded as blank. A. Naturalist. B. Realist. C. Empiricist. D. Pragmatist. Answer. C. Empiricist. Empiricism upholds that the only source of knowledge is the senses and sense-based experience. 6. Teacher K views her pupils as unique, free-choosing, and responsible individuals. She plans activities where the pupil can develop his unique personality. What theory underlies this nature of the pupil? A. Realism. B. Essentialism. C. Existentialism. D. Progressivism. Answer. C. Existentialism. Existentialism is the philosophy of subjectivity of selfhood whose fundamental doctrine proclaims man's freedom in the accomplishment of his destiny. In this case, emphasis is given on the students rather than on the curriculum content. 7. Learning is the process of retrieving prior learning. This is a statement from blank. A. Constructivist. B. Reconstructivist. C. Progressivist. D. Empiricist. Answer. A. Constructivist. Constructivism is a philosophy of learning which asserts that reality does not exist outside of the human conceptions. It is the individual that constructs reality by reflecting on his own experience and gives meaning to it. It is founded on the premise that by reflecting on our own experiences, we construct our own understanding of the world we live in. Therefore, learning is simply the process of adjusting our mental modes to accommodate new experiences. 8. Teacher P teaches to his pupils that pleasure is not the highest good. Teacher's teaching is against what philosophy? A. Realism. B. Hedonism. C. Epicureanism. D. Empiricism. Answer. B. Hedonism. Hedonism. Epicureanism is just a form of hedonism. Hedonism is the general, Epicureanism is the specific. Always select the general answer. 9. After listening to the homily of the priest about fidelity, Catherine has a moment of reflection. Her understanding of the value of fidelity has become deeper as she related this to her past experience. This typifies what kind of philosophy? A. Constructivism. B. Reconstructivism. C. Humanism. D. Existentialism. Answer. A. Constructivism. Constructivism is a philosophy of learning which asserts that reality does not exist outside the human conceptions. It is the individual who constructs reality by reflecting on his own experience and gives meaning to it. 10. After studying the principle of identity, Teacher W asks her students to determine which among the given set of problems conforms to the said identity. This shows that Teacher W upholds what kind of philosophy? A. Perennialism. B. Progressivism. C. Essentialism. D. Naturalism. Answer. B. Progressivism. Progressivism is a philosophy of learning by doing things. 11. Thea listened to the advice given by her sister to end the relationship that she has with Gilbert. However, her sister learned that the advice she has given was not followed and Thea decided to continue the relationship. This action of Thea is a manifestation of what kind of philosophy? A. Essentialism. B. Existentialism. C. Perennialism. D. Humanism. Answer. B. Existentialism. Existentialism is the philosophy of subjectivity of selfhood and proclaims man's freedom in the accomplishment of his destiny. 12. After finishing the degree in education, Teacher M learns that learning never stops. In fact, she accumulates more knowledge after leaving the portal of her alma mater. This typifies what kind of philosophy? A. Constructivism. B. Perennialism. C. Progressivism. D. Humanism. Answer. C. Progressivism. Progressivism connotes change, growth, and development. It is an active form of philosophy for it continues to evolve. 13. Matilda is an advocate of the principle, making the most of your life. She is indeed an advocate of what kind of philosophy? A. Humanism. B. Perennialism. C. Realism. D. Existentialism. Answer. A. Humanism. Humanism is a philosophy that stresses to live life to the fullest. 14. Teacher X is a very dedicated teacher in the nursery. Her foremost concern is for students to learn how to adapt themselves in the environment. This shows that Teacher X upholds what kind of philosophy? A. Naturalism. B. Pragmatism. C. Progressivism. D. Rationalism. Answer. A. Naturalism. Naturalism aims to unfold the child's potential, not to prepare him for a definite vocation or social position but to prepare him to adapt to the changing times and needs. 15. Teacher J serves as an inspiration to his students because of his efficiency and effectiveness as a teacher. The mindset of his students towards him, her, is an instance of what kind of philosophy? A. Realism. B. Idealism. C. Nationalism. D. Constructivism. Answer. B. Idealism. Idealism is a philosophy which asserts that what's in the mind is the only reality. In this situation, the teacher inspires his and her students through the values that she possessed. Values are absolute, are told to belong in realm of ideas. Hence, these are considered as ideas that exist only in the mind. 16. John learns well through active interplay with others. His learning increases when engaged in activities that has meaning in him. Which philosophy can describe this? A. Progressivism. B. Idealism. C. Realism. D. Empiricism. Answer. A. Progressivism. Progressivism is a philosophy of hands-off learning or experiential learning. Learning by doing. Learning is based from the questions of one's experience of the world. Hence, it is the learner himself who thinks, solves, and gives meaning through his individual experiences. 17. Your teacher is of the opinion that the world and everything in it are ever-changing and so teaches you the skill to cope with the changes. Which in his governing philosophy? A. Experimentalism. B. Existentialism. C. Idealism. D. Realism. Answer. A. Experimentalism. Experimentalism believes that things are constantly changing. It is based on the view that reality is what works right now and that goodness comes from group decisions. As a result, schools exist to discover and expand the society we live in. Students study social experiences and solve problems. 18. Principal C shares this thought with his teachers. Subject matter should help students understand and appreciate themselves as unique individuals who accept complete responsibility for their thoughts, feelings, and actions. From which philosophy is this thought based? Teacher V teaches her students to appreciate themselves as unique individuals and are to accept the responsibility to their feelings, actions, and thoughts. She upholds the philosophy of blank. A. Perennialism. B. Essentialism. C. Existentialism. D. Progressivism. Answer. C. Existentialism. Existentialism is the philosophy of subjectivity of selfhood and proclaims man's freedom in the accomplishment of his destiny. 19. Teacher H class is engaged in problem-solving activity which in a way is a reflection of the personal and social experiences. The purpose of this activity is for the students to acquire the skills that can help them in solving their own real-life problems. What philosophy can best describe this? A. Realism. B. Idealism. C. Progressivism. D. Existentialism. Answer. C. Progressivism. Progressivism connotes growth and development. In this manner, learning comes best when things are being experienced, that is, learning by doing things. It involves participation of the students and allows them to exercise freedom. 20. In the social science class of Teacher G, students identify the various social and economic problems that require urgent solutions. They not only discussed the ways to address it but also agreed to participate in solving them. What kind of philosophy does this class uphold? A. Naturalism. B. Constructivism. C. Progressivism. D. Reconstructivism. Answer. D. Reconstructivism. Reconstructivism covers the underlying factors that constitute reality or society. In this regard, students are encouraged to become involved in the problems, whether political, social, or economical, that confront the society and be able to arrive at solutions in order to reconstruct society. 21. A curriculum should only include those that have survived the test of time and combine the symbols of literature, history, and mathematics. Thus, curriculum like this contains values that are constant and universal. What philosophy describes this kind of curriculum? A. Idealism. B. Perennialism. C. Humanism. D. Essentialism. Answer. B. Perennialism. Perennialism maintains that education involves confronting the problems and questions that have challenged people over the centuries. Thus there is a need to study classical tradition of great books. 22. Who among the following puts more emphasis on core requirements, longer school day, longer academic year, and more challenging textbooks? A. Perennialist. B. Essentialist. C. Progressivist. D. Existentialist. Answer. B. Essentialist. Essentialism is an educational theory rooted in classical realism and idealism which advocates curricular reform, stressing the essentials of the basics like the 3 R's. '23. Education is a continuous process of experiencing and of visiting or reorganizing experiences, according to a progressivist. What does it mean? A. Education begins and ends in school. B. Education takes place anytime and anywhere. C. Education happens formally and informally. D. Education goes on throughout life. Answer. D. Education goes on throughout life. Progressivism connotes growth and development. It is an active form of philosophy, for it continues to evolve. 24. Mr. Cruz exemplifies an ideal teacher and son. He is competent in his field based on the various recognitions that he received from his school. As a dutiful son, he assumes all the responsibilities of raising his family. This includes his parents, siblings, and their own families, giving all their needs and wants. The fulfillment of these is the neglect of the responsibilities to himself. This attitude of Mr. Cruz is against what kind of philosophy? A. Existentialism. B. Constructivism. C. Pragmatism. D. Humanism. Answer. D. Humanism. Humanism stresses personal culture, individual freedom, and development, the best way towards full and rich lives. 25. Teacher R ensures to put a certain amount of his monthly earnings in the bank. At the end of the school year, he used all his savings in visiting places rich of cultural heritages rather than of buying expensive clothes, jewelry, and latest gadgets. Favoring the former action over the latter exhibits that Teacher R follows what kind of philosophy? A. Existentialism. B. Essentialism. C. Behaviorism. D. Progressivism. Answer. A. Existentialism. Existentialism is a philosophy that gives a person the freedom to choose. It is a philosophy of subjectivity. (26) Teacher R ensures to put a certain amount of his monthly earnings in the bank. At the end of the school year, he used all his savings in visiting places rich of cultural heritages rather than of buying expensive clothes, jewelry, and latest gadgets. This shows that Teacher R is an advocate of what kind of philosophy? A. Pragmatism. B. Perennialism. C. Naturalism. D. Essentialism. Answer. B. Perennialism. Perennialism views education as a recurring process based on eternal truths. Good education involves a search for and understanding of truth, which can all be found in the great works of civilization. 27. Teacher X rates the artwork of her students not just on the merit of its appeal to the senses but also considers its uniqueness and the responsibility that every student has given in accomplishing the task. This practice shows how Teacher X upholds this kind of philosophy. A. Realism. B. Reconstructivism. C. Idealism. D. Existentialism. Answer. D. Existentialism. Conceives philosophy as something that is felt by an individual because it's concrete in itself or based on what is concrete. There is also personal involvement in this kind of philosophy. 28. In line with the philosophy of reconstructivism, which of the following should be given emphasis in teaching? A. To seek a better position in the society. B. To compare oneself with the less fortunate. C. To become economically self-reliant. D. To designate one's superiority over the others. Answer. C. To become economically self-reliant. Reconstructivism aims to achieve social changes. This is a philosophy that entails the identification of social problems, finding solutions for this, and be a part of the solution. 29. Joining organizations or clubs in school is requisite to granting of academic distinction under DECS Order No. 65, S. 1998. This shows school community connection reflected in activities geared towards society's needs. What philosophy is related to this? Activities planned by school clubs or organizations show school community connection geared towards society's needs. What philosophy is related to this? A. Realism. B. Progressivism. C. Existentialism. D. Reconstructivism. Answer. D. Reconstructivism. Reconstructivism aims to achieve social changes. This is a philosophy that entails the identification of social problems, finding solutions for this, and be a part of the solution. 30. Increase of time allotment in English, Math, and Science in the elementary level under the new Elementary School Curriculum, NESC, as provided in DECS Order No. 1, Series 1993 contributes in the culturation of basic literacy by providing the needed essential skills. The related philosophy is blank. A. Realism. B. Essentialism. C. Idealism. D. Perennialism. Answer. B. Essentialism. Essentialism is an educational theory rooted in classical realism and idealism which advocates curricular reform, stressing the essentials of the basics like the 3 Rs. Thank you for taking the time to participate. Please like and share as we wait for Social Dimension Part 2. Subscribe to the channel and show your support. Thank you, and good luck. Go, new LPTs!